able to survive a Game 5 against the West, another Utah, and then they survived Game 7 against Houston, both at home. Gary Payton. Detlef Schrempf, who leads Seattle in the playoff series, deflected, and the turnover goes to Abdul Rauf of Denver. Very slender guard from LSU. Out to Reggie Williams, star of Game 3 with 31 points. The veteran from Georgetown.
They want to get Mahmoud off very quickly. When he is struggling, they really have trouble generating points, particularly from the perimeter.
Sean Kemp with a rebound. Kemp, who had almost 11 a game, 13th best in the league. Payton with Rove. Michael Cage and Mutombo, Schrempf, and Reggie Williams. Schrempf averaging 18 a game, 3 on the clock. Seattle takes the early lead. Turnover. Gill. Cage to Gill. Stolen by Williams. A foul on Reggie Williams.
This is a team of the future, and certainly they expect to continue to grow. Bickerstaff and Issel have done a terrific job of shaking the loser's mentality that suddenly settled in the Mile High City because this used to be a very exciting franchise. Doug Moe was the head coach. They used to run and gun, score a ton of points.
3-0 on Gill's first point. Ryan Smith with the ball. Working on the taller Schrempf. Williams and Payton.
They're trying to be patient and wait for Mahmoud.
Well, that was a heady play by LaFonso Ellis. He did not have control of the ball, so he just swatted it off the Seattle player nearest him and out of bounds to Denver. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Mutombo, the Mountain, makes it 3-2. Mutombo in the top 10 in 3 categories this year: blocks, rebound, shooting percentage. Gary Payton hits his first shot. Good news for Seattle. Inside to LaFonso Ellis, had 27 points in Game 4 in the overtime win. Former Notre Dame star working on Gill. Kemp wrestles the rebound away from Mutombo. All the way. And takes it into Ellis. Foul on LaFonso Ellis.
The best way to get an inbound play in the hoop is to find the center going to the hoop. Mutombo saluting at the other end of the floor. It's Sean Kemp staying after the rebound, and you have to stop Kemp with the basketball. When you don't, he's going to try to come coast to coast. Ellis picks up his first personal foul. Kemp, who missed 2 critical free throws at the end of Game 4 that could have sealed it, starts with a miss this afternoon.
And he's a good shooter from the line, over 74% on the season. His series number is not equal to those of the regular year. 6-2. The home team with the lead. Couple of minutes gone.
Reggie Williams is trying to be the general out there on the floor and direct things from the forward position, but in every possession they're trying to go against the clock. Ellis gets that one and a foul.
Was stiff up high with a chance for the tip. Seattle hurries the ball into the offensive end. Payton pops over the top. Denver the other way, trailing by 2. Perfect world for the Seattle fans. They'll get a big early lead and hope that that'll wilt the younger Denver team.
That's the guy that's got to get Denver in it from the perimeter, and Mahmoud has missed early, and he's got to find the stroke. You're right, Dick. If they can explode, then it's all uphill for the Denver Nuggets, and they'll really sense and feel the pressure.
Michael Cage and Mutombo fouled him.
Well, only in the West. 48% for the lead.
Kendall Gill forcing the mistake by Denver.
The reach in, and he's able to push the ball off the leg of Reggie Williams, and this is the area where Seattle really wants to make hay.
Kemp off Cage's hands. Abdul Rayouf to stiff. Payton back. And foul on Gary Payton. His first.
This guy at the line, Stiff, is a huge clutch player. Dan Issel really wants to see him have the opportunity to make something happen down the stretch.
Parents were football fans, Oakland Raiders fans. His middle name is LaMonica, after the Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica.
They were really football fans. They were some old football fans.
Sean Kemp with 4 rebounds in the first 3.5 minutes of this game.
Matchup that could be a problem is Shrimp against Reggie Williams, and he's going to have to get some help.
From outside, Sean Kemp. 9-5, and full court pressure now from the Seattle SuperSonics. And Nate McMillan forces the turnover. Payton takes it in, blocked by Mutombo. Foul on Mutombo. No, it's Reggie Williams. Williams gets the foul. Seattle with its biggest advantage, 11-5. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Rogers with a quick move and then has it knocked away.
They have to challenge Rogers at the three-point line. He's a terrific perimeter shooter for a guy his size, and he also has the ability to put the ball on the floor. This is a player that came into camp heavy, and it took him almost half the season to get in shape, but he's going to be a forceful player.
Abdul Rayouf, his first points. It's 11-7 Seattle. Look how quickly they're into that offensive end. It was just 3 seconds off the shot clock, and Gill already in position and fires an 18-footer. 3 Nuggets after the rebound.
Once they get it, they shouldn't allow the Sonics to come to them and get defensive pressure. They got to look to get the other way without making a mistake.
Mutombo with 6. Big long hook and a rebound out to Payton. Sean Kemp with Ellis. Rogers on the switch.
Mutombo got a piece of that one, and they'll end up getting a turnover from the Sonics.
Well, he is a monster defender. 11-7, Denver trails. Abdul Rayouf. That was a 3. Rebound, Mutombo. 11-9. Dikembe's 4th point.
Carl only believes that a tie is good for one game, so this better have that 5th game luck in it, and it's the Seattle Space Needle that's on that side.
If the Carroll family's fortunate, it will be a one-day tie. Rodney Rogers credited with a block as Mutombo at the other end.
That's great position by Mutombo. Hey, he's inside. That's what allows him to get that dunk.
Kendall Gill off the window. He has 3 points. Midpoint of this opening quarter. And trouble getting the ball up court as Sean Kemp touched it last. Rogers to Bryant Stiff. Kemp with 5 rebounds already. Sonics on the attack, leading 13-9. Payton, blocked by Mutombo. A brilliant anticipation. He has 2 blocks already. 23 now in the series. They got 25.
They have to be able to make a perimeter shot, and right now the Nuggets can't get the ball to go in. That really hurt them in games 1 and 2.
Shrimp for 3. Mutombo pulls it down. And a foul reaching in against Seattle. Sam Perkins comes in for the first time Seattle, and Robert Pack is the new point guard for Denver. Pack not the shooter Abdul Rauf is, but he's got much more ethyl in his tank. He really is a go type of point guard.
Shrimp draws the foul and gets the basket from Rogers. Detlef Shrimp.
You can't never leave your feet, but the temptation is too great for Rodney Rogers. He thought he had a chance to make the block. The pump fake got him stuck in the air, and Detlef Shrimp has a chance for a three-point play.
Shrimp, who came here in the trade with Derek McKee and Gerald Patio, going to the Indiana Pacers and delivered 15 points a game. Pack with a quick move around Payton. Can't hit the leader. Mutombo with the offensive rebound. Tipped in by Ellis. LaFonso Ellis jams at his fourth point. 16-13. Gary Payton left alone. Stiff up high at 6'5". Ellis. LaFonso Ellis, the trailer, and he put it into overdrive up the lane. He has 6.
Even though they say they want to slow down, they got to take advantage of opportunity breaks, and that's what happened for Dan Issel's team. Mutombo gets the rebound, goes up strong, and on the inside, it's LaFonso Ellis with the cap on it, and then in transition in a break, makes an adjustment and throws that one down.
Dan Issel, however, not happy about the last call. Rodney Rogers fouling Perkins now has his second, so we're going to see Brian Williams report in. And Nate McMillan about to check in to the Seattle lineup. Perkins at the line. Perkins, it's almost hard to believe, in Game 4, in 26 minutes, did not score a point. He was 0 for 7 from the line in that overtime loss in Denver.
Well, Big Smooth will certainly try to atone for it. He's always been a big game player, and particularly since he's become a Sonic. So I know George Karl is looking for big things for him. Now, the front line of the Nuggets gets bigger, but it doesn't have much better ball handling on it. Brian Williams comes in, has Ellis going to the small forwards with Dikembe Mutombo.
Seattle by 3. 3.5 left in the first quarter.
They got a matchup advantage with Ellis against Nate McMillan.
And a pushing foul underneath. Before the shot, officials are Dick Pavetta, Jess Kersey, and Jack Neese.
Follows on Nate McMillan.
In the playoffs, you try to take advantage of every mismatch that you can, and he gets smacked a couple of times. So it's on the side. That's the
McMillan hit him with the chest.
14th foul against the Sonics.
Both teams will be at the line from now on, with 3:13 left in the quarter.
Trying to work a play inside for Dikembe Mutombo.
Quick double team, and Mutombo is fouled. Misses them both. Controlled by McMillan. Well, free throw shooting is the difference in the game to this point. Seattle enjoying a 3-point lead. Shrimp takes it inside and dishes out to Payton. Perkins has become their 3-point shooter. That started a year ago at this time. Wide open, and what a block. It appeared Payton was wide open. And a 24-second violation. 18-15. Seattle leads. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
That's probably their best chance to break the pressure. Keep the ball away from the guy that Gary Payton is guarding, because he's going to keep everybody else coming into the passing lane.
Brian Stiff. Brian Williams over Shrimp for the rebound. Pack for 3. Oh, Robert Pack, who shot 20% of his threes on the regular season, had the big 3 to tie the game on Thursday night to force the overtime, gets a 3 to tie it today.
Perimeter shooting is the weakest part of Robert Pack's game. He's a great accelerator, a great penetrator, and when he's in the game, he's going to make something happen, plus or minus.
Unable to get the back, and it gets his own rebound. So Pack, a one-man show.
See, there you are, plus and minus. A quick shot, he missed it, stole it, and he'll try to set him up. A guy that they'd like to get off is Brian Williams. He's got a good post-up inside game, and we'll find out whether he gets a chance to show it.
Now Sam Perkins with those long arms, and then the long feed, wide open, Detlef Schrempf. 7 points for Schrempf. Played his college ball here in this city at the University of Washington.
Nuggets are right where they want to be. They weren't overwhelmed in the first period on the scoreboard. Even though they've turned the ball over, they're close. They're only down 2.
Perkins now on Mutombo, who is 4 inches taller than Sam. Back. Stiff. They don't get it off. Another 24 violation.
Good strong rebound by Brian Williams, and then a little elbow right to the chin, inadvertent elbow, as Payton stepped in there and caught a little pork chop, and he's still checking his teeth.
Vincent Askew and Nate McMillan now the backcourt for Seattle. Ricky Pierce makes his first appearance. McMillan can't connect. Brian Williams for the rebound.
Now the rebounding of the Nuggets gets very, very strong with Williams and Mutombo out on the floor trying to come inside of Mutombo.
Pack for 3. Williams again keeps it alive. Tom Hammonds, who has just entered for Denver, picks up the loose ball. And a new 24 as Pack balances the floor before initiating the play. Isolated on Nate McMillan, who led the league in steals. Pack to Williams. And a foul on Schrempf. And on the back of his shoes, he pays his own special tribute to a great star that passed last weekend. Ayrton Senna, the Brazilian Formula One driver who was killed. He called in the Michael Jordan of auto racing. He said the equivalent of a great matador. Every fraction of a second you're on the edge, unlike most any other sport. Williams gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 2019 Seattle lead in the final seconds. Trying to get a shot off, and they won't do it. 7/10 of a second, the ball to Denver. So for Dan Issel's young Denver team, this is a quarter that would work in their game plan, staying within very tight touch of the favored Seattle Sonics.
And if they were to keep this pace up, we know that the Sonics have failed when they've scored under 90 points. They're 1-9 in the regular season, and they have struggled against the Nuggets.
Sean Kemp, hoping to give George Karl some firepower, has re-entered the game. So he's got Pierce and Kemp on the floor now, and Pierce, a great shooter, and he had to alter that left-hander with Mutombo flying by. And says something to George Karl. He must have injured his hand. Mutombo with a rebound. Boy, are they crowding around him. And finally, the jump ball. Askew didn't have it very long. That's a tough call against Denver. They were all over Mutombo, and as soon as Askew just got his hands on it for a second, the whistle sounded.
Mutombo was trying to clear, and as he was looking around, he laid that ball out there. Askew was able to get his hands on it. Ricky Pierce out of the ball game. Nate McMillan in. Looks like he may have dislocated a finger or a thumb, something on that offhand, and they're taking a look at him now.
Anna Storm will give us a report in just a moment. They'll jump it again. Mutombo with the obvious advantage here against Askew, who was 8 inches shorter. There's Pierce being worked on. The trainer is Frank Furtado. Well, out of that, Seattle gets the ball. So credit that to Askew's good defense. Still 20-19. No scoring yet in this quarter. It's a two-pointer. What was on the line? 5 total for Kemp. Well, it took nearly 2 minutes for the scoreboard to change here in the second quarter. That's got the noise level up a little higher. Brian Williams. Soft left hand. 3 points for him.
Near steal pass.
Askew over Hammonds. Mutombo. 4 rebounds now.
The Nuggets are doing a terrific job, Dick, on the defensive glass. They're allowing them one shot. Brian Williams has to tie his shoe so they can double up. They're playing 4 on 5.
Reggie Williams gets his own rebound and a new 24. Now Brian Williams hustles into the picture. No hurry for Denver. 9 minutes to go in the half. Reggie Williams on the drive. No whistle. Mutombo misses. Brian Williams misses an easy one. Oh, how did it not go in? Both Mutombo and Williams had easy chances. Perkins sets for 3. 25-21, 22nd timeout, Denver. 25-21, Seattle leads it.
8 on the shot clock.
Mutombo, no one to defend him. He takes it in, misses, and a foul. He's going to a charging foul on Mutombo, his second.
The decision was the right one, but Mutombo, once he gets going, he has trouble stopping, and he couldn't change direction against Sam Perkins. Perkins covering up as the mountain came down.
You saw Dan Issel then go right to Mutombo and say, hey, that's okay now. Don't get emotional about it. John Kemp around Mutombo. Blocked, and that'll be number 3 on Mutombo. Dikembe obviously doesn't think so. We'll give you a look.
In isolation, get Sean Kemp in a position where he can use his quickness to get to the rim. Mutombo's going to try to time it and got a piece as the hands came down. He got him over the top.
That's a foul that will change the course of this game. 3 fouls with 8:04 left in the half. 26-21 Seattle. And the rookie, Rogers, replaces Mutombo.
Brian Williams will have to go in the middle now. They don't have the shot blocking, and you can look for the Sonics to begin to try to attack the middle. Big rebound, Williams.
It's likely that Mutombo will not play until the second half. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Remember this sequence for Denver. Also, when they missed those 2 easy shots in close, that would have given them their first lead. And illegal defense to call against Seattle, and a technical foul shot will go with it.
Illegal defense against Seattle.
You wonder who this illegal defense was. Nate McMillan come dancing out of there to add to their league-leading total, and Robert Pack is going to be the guy to shoot the technical.
Pack shooting under 76% on the year. Gets the roll. Nate McMillan was illegal.
Nate was all over the official. The Nuggets are going to have to get into their offense a little bit quicker, because every time there's a little bit of tentative play and confusion.
That'll be on Kemp for reaching in, and that's his second. And they're in real trouble if this man, Abdul Rauf, gets a hot shooting hand.
He or Reggie Williams. They need a gun from the perimeter. They come inside the Ellis.
And he ties it at 26. Alfonso Ellis with 8 points to lead the Nuggets. Kemp. No Dikembe to worry about. So Rogers comes over to foul, and that'll be his third. Gary Payton peels off the warm-up. Rogers goes out with 3 fouls for Denver, and Bryant Stith back in. Seattle has led throughout, although the game has been tied twice, once at 18 and at 26. Kemp, again, is just 1 for 2 on the free throws. 7 points for Kemp. Under 7 minutes to go in the half.
Only 7 points for both teams in just about 5 minutes of play.
Abdul Rauf. And Denver leads for the first time, 28-27. Kemp. Well, Kemp reclaims the lead for Seattle, 29-28. Reggie and Brian Williams, Bryant Stith, Abdul Rauf, and LaFonso Ellis, and foul against Seattle.
Foul is on number 17,
Askew, his first. Dikembe Mutombo, his presence is so important to this Denver team, but out since the 8-minute mark with his third foul.
Well, Williams has done a very good job since coming in the ball game. First for LaFonso Ellis and Reggie Rogers, and now for Mutombo. But the problem for Denver has been their offense. They just have not been able to sync up and get into it quick enough. But Dan Issel looks at the scoreboard, and he's got to be happy with his position. And with Brian Williams working the glass and Mahmoud coming to the free throw line, 95%, you're not going to get many misses here.
Yeah, the best in the league. He was fouled by Payton, second on Payton. In fact, down to the last free throw of the season, had a chance to break Calvin Murphy's all-time season record and missed his last attempt, but missed only 10 all season. 229 trips, 10 misses for Abdul Rauf, who suffers from Tourette's syndrome. Those electrical volts because of a chemical brain imbalance that causes him the tics and involuntary even utterances. Boy, he can still perform so brilliantly.
A little pressure by Denver.
Askew, who played for George Karl in the CBA in Albany. So did Mario Ellie, a great team in the CBA. We'll see Ellie with Houston tomorrow.
That team was 50-6 for George Karl, so they were wearing opponents out.
Ellis left alone. Reggie Williams had served as a pass, and Denver leads by 1. 32-31 first points for the veteran Reggie Williams. Askew took it all away, but it wouldn't fall, and Brian Williams has the boards. 8 rebounds for number 8, Brian Williams. 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Stith is being guarded by Michael Cage, but they don't take advantage of the mismatch.
Whoa, indeed. Abdul Rauf sees Brian Williams open on the wing, and that's Denver's biggest lead, 3.
Playing on the edge, if that's the way Brian Williams is playing today, he's playing with a vengeance and throws that one down. And again, the crowd very nervous here at the Coliseum.
Gary Payton gets a good pick, takes it inside, and scores. Payton with his 6th point. Alfonso Ellis over Michael Cage, and Cage got him after the ball had been released. His second.
That was on Michael Cage, his second. 14 foul.
Payton has become one of the very creative penetrators and finishers in the NBA, and he slides in, uses his body, and is able to get a much-needed 2 points for the Sonics.
Oakland, California, migrated up to Corvallis, Oregon, and Oregon State. Ellis misses the free throw. Detlef Schrempf reports for Seattle. Askew is out.
Free throws could become a major issue in this ball game with both teams missing a lot early, particularly the guys on the front line.
35-33, Denver.
He loses Abdul Rayouf. Brian Williams tips it ahead to Reggie Williams, to Abdul Rayouf, and he gets it over Detlef Schrempf.
8 points for Abdul Rayouf.
And a charge against Gary Payton, I believe.
Offensive foul.
Michael Cage is short. And it's Reggie Williams out of the pack.
Nuggets did a great job of reacting, and Sean Kemp and Reggie Williams have words as Reggie shot an elbow at Sean Kemp.
Yeah, they're doing, as Sam Perkins calls it, some jaw jackings going down the court.
Abdul Rayouf. Williams can't tip it in, but Reggie Williams does. Williams with 4 points, and it's Denver by 1.
Brian Williams has been huge off the bench, off the glass.
10 rebounds for Brian Williams. Kemp, no basket, foul before the shot.
47 seconds left in the half.
Reggie Williams gets control of the ball, and Sean Kemp will come up on him, and out of this, a quick shot with an elbow. And this is a deep shot from Mahmoud. Brian Williams keeps it alive. Reggie Williams finishes it off.
At the stripe is Sean Kemp, member of Dream Team 2 that will compete this summer in Toronto in the World Championships. It's tied at 40. It's not been a brilliant series for a superb player, as you can see. His number is down in all categories except the block average here in the playoffs.
35% during this series. The Mutombo factor has been huge, and Nuggets have been able to make them play outside in the 4 games.
40 seconds to go, and it has to be an encouraging half for Dan Issel to stay with Seattle without Mutombo the last 8 minutes. And one of the reasons, Brian Williams, who has played a big second quarter, especially on the boards, and he draws the foul.
It's on Michael Cage, number 3.
A flash across the lane gets him in position to handle the ball. Has a little bit of an Achilles problem to begin with, and comes up a little gimpy, and will go back to the line.
Didn't see the foul there. Perhaps inadvertently Cage stepped on Williams as he was making his move. 10 rebounds in this half, and he's an unstarted.
This to tie. Another miss.
Returning to the Sonic lineup, number 14, Sam Perkins.
Sam Perkins in the final seconds of the half with the thought that he might get a chance at another 3.
Looking for his 8th point.
It's tied at 41.
7 in the period for Brian Williams, so he's done an excellent job of steadying and keeping him in the ball game and giving him some offense as well as great board work.
Seattle doesn't try to hurry to get the 2 for 1 here.
Perkins for 3. Just what the doctor ordered. Dr. Carl sent him in. Final shot for Denver. And McMillan hawking Abdul Rayouf. Abdul Rayouf is short. Williams, Kemp. Boy, what a scramble. Noise level up. The earplugs are in here at the Seattle Coliseum. Sonics going back to the first half, outscoring Denver 11-1. And they've opened a 9-point lead. Mutombo with 7. They just seem to not be able to find the play they want. Dan Whistle saying the defensive Seattle taking away what they want to do. Out of bounds to Seattle.
See if the Nuggets now can raise their defensive level and make the Sonics become a perimeter team again. Get a few few misses.
Ruled a block. Rechecking the official statistics, they gave Mutombo another block in the first half, so he has 4 to give him 27, 2 under the 5-game playoff record in the NBA.
Abdul Rauf, who has not been able to score, he's out of the ball game. Robert Pack is in.
6 on the shot clock. Kendall Gill over Stiff. 13-1, the run for Seattle. Worried look on Issel. How do you stop the bleeding? This crowd on its feet. Mutombo with a miss.
Mutombo is right. He's calling for and 1 because Sean Kemp got a finger on the ball on the way down.
Sam Perkins, his second foul. First team foul.
Foul on Perkins, his second.
Penetration breaks down the defense, and as he's laying it up, Kemp gets a piece of it underneath, and Mutombo come out crying. Didn't you see that?
Mutombo is such a wonderful, boyish personality, and in life is a joy. Always finds something to have fun with, and LaFonso Ellis has been his sidekick. He said, the only thing I got to worry about, all Americans don't say the right words and say nice things, so I got to tell Mutombo that's something you don't want to hear. Don't listen to that. Robert Pack trying to sneak in for the rebound. 52-42. Denver without a field goal now for more than 4 minutes.
They have done a good job defensively themselves, but in a game this tight, it doesn't take much of a breakdown in order for you to get a win. 4 on the shot clock.
Kemp beats the clock. And it's Reggie Williams pulling down the rebound. Robert Pack. Deflected and out of bounds as Gary Payton gets a hand on it. Go back to the Mutombo argument on goaltending.
Right there, and he felt it was on the way down, or maybe it even hit the glass, but Sean Kemp gets away with a block on that.
Alfonso Ellis, Brian Stiff, good work, and Reggie Williams is the open shooter. It's the first goal for Denver in about 4.5 minutes.
And Reggie Williams, who had 30 points in game 3, really needs to strike a match and get hot and keep his team close.
8-point Seattle lead. 8 minutes to go in the third. Payton against Pack.
Pack with a good defensive effort in this possession comes up with a steal.
Reggie Williams with a loose ball. A little bit of mugging of Payton is the way some of the fans here in Seattle saw that. Pack much shorter on Shrimp, and now they switch Perkins on Pack.
Trying to get a mismatch inside with Ellis, and now they got to go to the other side of the floor.
Brian Stiff. Mutombo keeps it alive. Good play by Shrimp to knock it away from Ellis and a foul. Foul on LaFonso Ellis. His third.
First team foul.
So a bevy of players with 3 fouls in the game. No one with 4 yet. Payton. Mutombo. Knocked away by Kemp. Off Pack. Out of bounds to Seattle. Big play. Sean Kemp.
Kemp was laying in the passing lane, and Mutombo laid that ball out there, and Robert Pack pulled back away. You got to go meet the ball against any of the Sonics and their pressure, particularly when they're in the passing lane.
Mutombo on Kemp. Payton around Pack. Kemp from way outside. Rebound Reggie Williams, and clear pass for Pack. Boy, can he leap. You saw that slam that he had in game 3 that just rocked McNichols. Pack was only 6'2". He can climb. Kemp. Mutombo. Rebound Reggie Williams. Well, suddenly Denver with a basket here, right back in it at 6:42 of the third. They're down by 6.
Couple of quick triggers by the Sonics, and that gave some life to the Nuggets and Robert Pack.
Pack forces up that jumper, and Kemp with a rebound. To Payton. Kendall Gill banks it. 12 points for him.
You can't gamble in the backcourt against the Sonics. They're going to beat you with numbers. That's what happened to the Nuggets on that last possession. Reggie Williams tried for a steal, missed it. Gill gets 2.
Gill now with 6 in the quarter. Alfonso Ellis, a quick move, and he's fouled by Schrempf. And Detlef Schrempf has his 3rd.
Reggie Williams with a good rebound and a bust out for Robert Pack. He sees Kemp, but he's got 2 hands and way off the ground. And on the other end, it's Kendall Gill beating Pack in a chase. Actually could have got and won, so Pack gets away with 1.
Were you a big dunker in your days in the ABA?
No. I always played with 2 feet on the ground. I played deep.
They said you didn't want to get that close. You wanted those 2 and 3 pointers out around the line. Alfonso Ellis.
See, when the game is over and they count them, they only count them by 2s. They don't count them by number of dunks.
12 points now for Ellis to lead Denver. Back to a 6-point game. Midpoint 3rd quarter. Oh, Stiff got an elbow right to the jaw. And Reggie Williams gets a piece of it, and now out of bounds was the call to Seattle. Allows Stiff to check his teeth.
You never play defense with your face. And right there, he took a shot, and Issa was right. He should have had a call, even though it was inadvertent.
Good pick of Mutombo, and that cleared the way for Payton's layup. He has 8. Payton with the body. His 4th. He becomes the first player with 4. Schrempf and Cage of the Sonics with 3. Ellis, Rogers, Mutombo with 3 for Denver.
Trying to keep his body on him. He just leans a little bit too much. Doesn't allow Pack any kind of a lane. So the call goes against Gary Payton.
Schrempf pulls it down for Seattle. Leading by 8, here come the Sonics. And that's going to be on whom? Schrempf and Williams. That could have almost gone as a double foul. Williams gets his 3rd. They were elbowing down the court.
Sticking on Detlef Schrempf and all the way, and then after he gets rid of the ball, gives him a little push, and we have seen worse that has gone undetected.
Schrempf again has size on Williams and height. To Gill, partially blocked by Stiff. Pack breaks out, no numbers here.
Even though they don't want to get in an up and down game, the Nuggets got to look for some cheap scores. They got to get a few bust outs.
Williams, this is everything except Stiff's rebound hands, and he gets a foul.
Danielson is looking for a hot hand. Mahmoud is his best deep perimeter player. He's got to see him catch a torch if they got a chance to win this.
Sonics by 6. Stolen by Reggie Williams.
Nuggets have more than held their own defensively, and they forced some turnovers. They need to see that ball go in.
Smith 0 for 6 from the floor, wide open there. And Perkins, good play by Perkins. He knew he was going to go out of bounds, had no chance for a shot. Saved it for Gill.
Good play by Stiff to keep Mutombo for picking up a foul. Still a mismatch.
Gill with a tray. Rebound Mutombo. 8 boards for Dikembe.
It's hard for the Nuggets to pass up that early temptation and not take that quick shot. They want to come back and get in a half-court set, but they haven't really gotten anything out of it. 5 on the shot clock, Mutombo.
And he gets the foul off Kemp. Sean Kemp with his 3rd.
Foul is on Sean Kemp, his 3rd.
Mutombo, and you're never sure which way he's going to go. This time he wheels and surprises Kemp. He thought he was going to be able to get a block, and he actually had him going underneath the basket. That was going to be a tough try. Kemp not happy with the call.
Nick McMillan into the Sonic line. And
Kembe Mutombo. He is 1 for 4 today. Nate McMillan back in the lineup for Seattle, and Abdul Rauf replaces Stiff.
The Nuggets go with the mini backcourt of Pack and Rauf.
Plus Reggie Williams, who isn't very tall, so it's a very small lineup on the court for Denver. Mutombo makes up for much of that. Gets 1 out of 2. It's a 5-point game with 3.5 to go in the third. Gill got away from Robert Pack. 14 for Kendall Gill, a former Charlotte Hornet.
Gill has been the hot hand that George Karl has been looking for. He's got 8 and a quarter, 14 in the game, and it has been the difference in terms of separation on the scoreboard.
On the switch, Kemp against Abdul Rauf. Knocked away by Payton, and Pack is hurt. Payton scores 60-51. Robert Pack writhing in pain. He really hit the court awkwardly.
Now Pack is going to be a factor. He has to stay out there while that hip is warm and the muscles are still loose, because when he sits down, that thing is going to stiffen up and tighten up.
Beautiful pass by Pack to Brian Williams. Perfect assist, 10 points for Williams to go with his double figure 10 in rebounds.
Now the Nuggets for the final 2:20 want to stay close. They want to keep this game in single digits while they try to find some sort of offensive rhythm.
Nate McMillan spotted the line but stepped on it, didn't get the 3. So the guards for Seattle have 14 in this period. They had only 14 the entire first half. 9-point game.
Trying to come inside to Williams against Kemp.
Look at that steal by Kendall Gill. Ahead to Payton. Reggie Williams draws the foul. His 4th.
The difference in the half has been the Sonics have been able to force those turnovers and get in a streak and been able to cash. And you have the Denver Nuggets playing in a half court, not being able to get the ball to go in the basket. They've been playing outside for most of this 12-minute quarter.
At the line for
and here's the head piranha, Gary Payton. They really feed off those turnovers and steals, leading the league in both categories, and that's what generates their offense.
Before Rodney Rogers. And into the Sonics.
Michael Cage and Rodney Rogers return. Cage there for defensive and rebounding purposes. Here's that steal again. Look at the great anticipation by Gill. Payton misses both. And it goes out of bounds to Denver. It appeared Abdul Rauf touched it last. Maybe they'll change the call.
The ball comes down and Rauf flies in there, and it went off his knee. Jeff Kersey, the official, pointed the wrong way, then corrected himself. The four turnovers that the Nuggets have had have been really crucial ones.
McMillan gives Seattle a 3rd chance. It's an Askew back in. Minute and a half left in the 3rd. Big quarter for Seattle. Sam Perkins to McMillan for 3. Rebound Brian Williams. 2-on-2 break. Pack takes it home.
That's a huge play by Pack against the pressure of Gill to get himself under control and then to elevate for what looked like to be a very easy deuce.
After Seattle had had 3 chances at the other end.
Now their anchor today has been Brian Williams. He has been excellent in playing this game. Bust out.
Back again to Williams. And a foul. fourth on Michael Cage. Fans wanted a foul at the other end.
They had been stuck in a half-court game without the ability to get something easy, and Pack takes that one and goes all the way himself. And after a miss, Pack again in a position to make something happen, leaves it for Williams back on the line.
Brian Williams 4 for 6 free throw shooting today. And despite a solid third quarter for Seattle, the Sonics can't shake this Denver team. It's a 6-point game. George Carl, you see that scar over the lip. He was a paper boy outside of Pittsburgh, and a dog got him when he was 12 years of age. So I better stick to basketball.
You know, he changed his route.
62-57. Final seconds of the third quarter. Gill. Nice pass, and Cage is fouled by Brian Williams. That'll be his third.
That was number 8, Brian Williams, his third.
Nice pass down on the baseline after Kendall Gill makes the defense adjust, drops it inside. You gotta again remember who's shooting the basketball. That's Michael Cage. He doesn't finish a lot of his opportunities, but you want to make sure that he sees Mutombo in front of him rather than foul him from the rear. That's 48%. He misses the first one from the line.
From West Memphis, Arkansas, migrated out to San Diego State. The #1 pick of the Clippers in '84. Misses them both, and Mutombo pulls in the rebound. About 8-second difference between the shot and game clock. It's a big trip for Denver, trying to pull it within 3. Rogers had been knocked away. 4 seconds. Pack has to hurry too. He counts, and he is fouled. Oh my!
Way to go, baby.
As Dan Issel said about Pack, he's either going to make it happen or he isn't. And against the clock, he just put his head down and said, I'm coming to the rim. I don't care who's in front. Look at the elevation, and then a little change with the ball.
Perkins with a foul, his third. Boy, that's that leaping ability. He was, Buddy Chickern would say, the elevator stopped up there on the 7th floor. Everyone else fell down to 6 and 5, and he went up to 8 and scored.
But we've talked so much about the Sonics sprinting away, and we look up there at the same advantage as it was at the half, a 3-point lead for the Sonics with Pack trying to make it 2.
62-60.
7 for Pack in the quarter.
Seattle had led by 11. 3 seconds. Gill way off the mark. Brian Williams at the end of the quarter. A quarter that started brilliantly for Seattle, but Robert Pack, the Pac-Man of Denver, with 7 points in the quarter. The entire season for one of these teams comes down to this last quarter. 2 points separate them. Favored Seattle with its hands full with the Denver Nuggets, 62-60.
Ricky Pierce has reemerged, so we'll find out whether that dislocated index finger on the right hand affects him as he tries to help them get some firepower.
McMillan for 2, rattles out, and Brian Stith embraces the rebound. Robert Pack, should Denver pull an amazing upset, he would be one of the unsung heroes. The nation learning about Robert Pack, who's kind of found a way to get into this league.
This is a guy with some offense, and that's Rodney Rogers.
Look at Brian Williams battle for that offensive board.
Got to get it up. They didn't see the shot clock again. It was at 3 when Williams got it. Pack had a chance for a 3 and wasn't aware of the time.
Well, the air ball and the shot didn't touch iron, so the clock continued to run. Number 8 seed in the 5-game series has never beaten number 1 ever. Pierce Michael Cage gets the offensive rebound.
They've played 20 series between 1 and 8, and somebody at the 8 spot is finally going to break through. They get a foul against, I think it's Robert Pack.
Reaching in, yes, Pack. And of course, tomorrow here on NBC, game 1 will feature number 1 against number 8.
Pack showing you some strength as he just yanked a big, strong Vincent Askew off that ball, and Askew goes to the line for the first time this afternoon.
Don't forget that tripleheader tomorrow that begins with number 1 seed in the East, Atlanta, against number 8 Miami. Then we'll be in Houston as the Phoenix Suns and Charles Barkley take on Hakeem Olajuwon, and then the Knicks and the Bulls. Marvin Matt will be bringing you that one from Madison Square Garden. Tom Hammond and Bill Walton will start the day in Atlanta. Tom Hammonds plays here for Denver. Vincent Askew with the 2 free throws, 64-60. First points of this 4th quarter. And the pressure on defensively by Seattle in the backcourt. This crowd doing everything it can to help.
The pace of this game has been in favor of the Nuggets, and we know that Seattle does not do well in games under 90 points.
Ooh, dangerous pass. Robert Pack hanging for a 15-footer. 13 points for Pack. On the season, average 9.5. John Kemp from the side. Cage and Williams, and Brian Williams wins that fight. He has 14 boards.
Rogers looks for a 3.
He likes the 3. Brian Williams follows it home. It's tied at 64 with 10:09 to go. What a rally by Denver, down by 11 in the 3rd quarter. It looked as if Seattle finally had put all the pieces together, but Denver had trouble with a young team. Now they believe they can win.
And the Sonics were supposed to have the deeper, better bench and more proven, and it has been the bench of the Nuggets has been the big difference.
That call goes to Seattle out of bounds. Mutombo could not save it. There's a timeout. Denver is on a current 11-2 run.
Payton back in the ball game to see if he can direct some things and also get some penetration, break down that Nugget defense, which has had them really playing slow down basketball.
Pierce, and the foul is on Pierce for charging, his first.
Offensive foul call on Ricky Pierce, his first.
And Pierce, an extremely aggressive drive here, but that left arm goes out and trying to get control of the ball right into the chest of Brian Stitt.
Robert Pack into dunk, and Denver has the lead.
Good exchange. Get it, give it, go to the basket, and they hurt the Sonics for the first time on that kind of a play.
John Kemp has had a quiet series. Askew feeds underneath the Cage.
Now who looks confused? It's the Sonics. Here.
The veteran Ricky Pierce, a 2-point shot, ties it at 66, his first points of the game. 8:50 to go. Tie it again.
Back to Rogers with an advantage against Askew.
Knocked away, and a reach-in foul against Askew.
Well, Dick, you've been around since the beginning of basketball with Naismith, and this was one of the original plays, give and go and over the top, but they didn't jump that high in the beginning.
Well, they couldn't because Dr. Naismith, that peach basket would rip up the way these guys fire it down. He wouldn't allow it.
Well, Pack and Williams have been the story for the Denver Nuggets, and they have really kept them in the ball game with the play off the bench.
Meanwhile, George Karl goes to that deep bench of his, and Shrimp and Perkins come in. Stiff. And another foul. Perkins' 4th.
Foul is on Sam Perkins, his 4th.
George Karl was right.
Foul.
They weren't going to be overwhelmed. It was going to be a tight game. I don't think he thought it was going to be armpit time, however.
Not this late to be this tight, or in fact to be behind. 67-66. Stith now with his 4 points. And they've all been free throws. A lot of clock watching now. It ticks away on the season for one of these teams.
Both teams have been very aggressive at the defensive end, and the Nuggets have really been successful in keeping them away from half-court layup.
Foul is on Robert Pack.
The foul is on Pack, not Rogers. The second on Robert Pack. Well, Seattle losing only 4 times all year, 37-4 at home. Williams to Pack for 3. Robert Pack, he's unconscious here in the second half. 18 for Pack. That matches the biggest lead of the game for Denver, 4. Detlef Schrempf saves it for Kemp.
Notice they come out of that middle because Mutombo's in there, and they are just really struggling to score the ball.
Kemp to Payton. He has to come out. Pierce waits for Stith to fly by. And the rebound and foul against Schrempf for riding in. His 4th.
Foul is on Detlef Schrempf.
Dan Issel said if we could just score the ball, we can win this game. He didn't know that this was going to be the guy that was going to be scoring the ball and making the threes. That is just his 8th three-point field goal, his 3rd of these playoffs, but he's not a three-point shooter.
All season long, Robert Pack. Quiet from outside. He's not known for his offensive talent. Playmaker and speed and can penetrate, but not an outside shooter. And Payton trying to hawk him in the backcourt. Pack was the man down on his back in pain, and he was toppled on that play with Payton. Stith inside. Oh, a power move by the 6'5" Stith. 73-67, the biggest deficit of the game for favored Seattle. 7 minutes to go. Welcome to Seattle. Dick Enberg with Steve Jones and Hannah Storm. Robert Pack has been brilliant today all season long. 82 games. He made 6 3-pointers. He has 5 in the playoffs. 2 for 3 today. Never has a number 8 seed beaten a number 1. So the Denver Nuggets, seeded 8th in the West, have a 6-point lead with 6:48 to go. Detlef Schrempf. Utah, having eliminated San Antonio 3-1, awaits the winner. If it's Denver, Utah will have the home court advantage. Phoenix and Golden State. Phoenix wins that one, and we'll meet Houston tomorrow here on NBC. Better stand. Go for Gin has won the Kentucky Derby. One of these teams going for something stronger than that, or at least bubblier, more effervescence. And there is Brian Stith's first field goal of the game. 9 points for him, a 2-pointer. Check that, his second, both coming here in the 4th quarter. Schrempf inside. Beats Rogers. 75-70. 6:19 to go. This crowd of nearly 15,000 that has seen Seattle run up the best record in the NBA this year. Nervous now, almost a steal by Gill. Rogers saves, gets it to Williams. Pack, can he hit another 3? Oh my!
Robert Pack for 3.
He has matched his entire season's total of trays in a 5-game playoff series.
Somebody had to get hot. It turned out to be Pack. He's got 10 1/4, and they have an 8-point lead. And this crowd stunned right now. They got 5 minutes to get it going.
Kendall Gill can't hit. Perkins with a rebound. Gill, and a foul. The Sonics came out roaring to open the second half, opened an 11-point lead and appeared to be on their way. But Denver has fought back, and now they have their biggest lead. And Robert Pack's steady right hand, the difference in the game.
Reggie Williams returns to the Denver lineup at the line for Seattle.
Rodney Rogers picked up that last foul, the rookie's 4th. Kendall Gill, 15 points with the ex-Illinois star. And there's so only 29 tries. That tells you something right there. He's just not an outside shooter on the season. He's 6 for 10 in threes in the playoffs.
Perimeter shooting has never been the strength of his game, but today he has been that hero that books are written about. Along with Brian Williams, they have been the difference for the Denver Nuggets.
Denver by far the youngest team in the league. Can they hold up now? The pressure of the home crowd. And a defense that was the toughest in the NBA, forcing more turnovers by the opposition, stealing more balls than anyone else. And Dan Issel, a great star with Kentucky, and of course 15 years in the league with Denver, trying to keep the pieces together. They've had a couple of clock violations. Mutombo hits the rim, so the ball alive, and Williams saves it. He's fouled by Kendall Gill. Brian Williams, a terror on the boards, 16 rebounds.
Gill, his second, 14 foul.
Maybe he's playing this inspired game for Ayrton Senna, but he has been on the edge and all over the place today, keeping the ball alive. Gill picks up the personal foul.
Closing in on the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes left. Mutombo double team to Pat. Brian Williams hits. 80-72 Denver. Under 5 minutes to go. Kemp to Perkins, the three-point shooter. He's got another. 3 of them in the game for veteran Sam Perkins. He's 3 for 3 today. 11 points for Perkins. 4.5 left. It would be an upset measured with the biggest upsets in NBA playoff history if Denver pulls it off. Seattle's crowd is going to do everything to deny. Brian Stiff. Rebound Gill. Perkins open at the other end. Another 3. It was close, and Reggie Williams kept it away from Sean Kemp. Here's Pat. To Williams. And he was fouled. There was a chance at a three-point play. He has 17 rebounds. He has 17 points. Brian Williams rebounds by quarter. He came in full-time when Mutombo picked up 3 early fouls, left with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. 6-point game. Shrimp. Partially blocked by Stiff and pulled on by Williams. Fans wanted a foul. Shrimp playing with 5 fouls. Pat takes it in. Reggie Williams with another offensive rebound, and he scores. He had to raise that shot up around the clock over the backboard to get it in.
The Sonics a desperate team right now, and they get a big shot to come in from the perimeter from Sean Kemp.
Kemp, the star of this Seattle team, with only 15 points. A little over his average in the 5-game series. 3:14 to go. Payton on Pack. Pack with a beautiful pass, but Williams misses the slam, and Denver's luck is good as the ball goes all the way out to the sideline to Brian Stiff. Underdog Denver leads by 6 with 3 minutes and change remaining. Only 4 other teams in NBA playoff history have rallied from 0-2 down. That's what Denver's trying to do. Suns did it against the Lakers last year. But it's plays like this at both ends by Brian Williams.
You see Robert Pack missing, but they have been aggressive on the board, and second chance points have been huge this afternoon. 20 offensive rebounds to 6. And it's a big advantage for the Denver Nuggets over what has been a very good rebounding team, the Sonics, all season long. And this is a day that will be one of those black marks in a 63-win season for George Karl if they don't get it done.
He's got 3:06 left. Stiff on the line to try to extend the lead to 8.
And with money on the line, Dan Issel believes in number 23 at the free throw line. He feels that this is one of the calmest, coolest players on his team. He had struggled to get the ball in from the field, but he gets 1 of 2 there.
23-year-old Stick makes it 84-77. And a foul at the other end. Reggie Williams. His fifth.
Sonics in a bust out and a quick pass ahead to Detlef Schrempf. This time Detlef Schrempf gets the call. Really should be no complaint from Reggie, but he said, I got away with a few holes earlier, so why would you call that one?
Schrempf with 16 points. Now is the leader for Seattle. Once again, he's averaging 18 in the playoffs as you see Nate McMillan come in for Sam Perkins. Perkins shackled with 5 fouls himself.
George Karl is also thinking turn the ball over. They got to turn that ball over and generate some cheap points if they possibly can. 1 of 2 for Detlef Schrempf. Both teams missing big free throws all afternoon, and it's been this little general right here that's been the difference. Shot clock at 7.
At 3. Knocked away by Schrempf. And a 20-second timeout beat the buzzer.
They got a catch and shoot situation here. They've had some shot clock violations this afternoon.
To Mutombo, and it's batted away by Schrempf on the 24-second violation in Seattle. Winning many games this year with its defense. It's the number 5 offense in the league and the number 6 defense, Seattle. And their defense really keyed the way they play at the offensive end.
Everyone that has seen the Sonics play said if you can slow them down and you can take care of the basketball, you can beat them. And that's what the Denver Nuggets are trying to do. Keep this slow dance going for another 2:26.
Gill. Hendo Gill through Mount Mutombo. 84-80. 2:16 to go. Hardly a soul sitting here at the Seattle Coliseum.
In the quarter, 2 minutes.
A new 24 for Denver, and a whistle. That was a 24-second pause. They did not touch iron on the shot by Mutombo.
Composure is critical for the Nuggets right now. They don't want to give up any cheap score.
Take another look at it. Mutombo fouled by Kim. But no call. But the ball definitely did not touch the rim. And Perkins, the 3-point threat. 40 seconds to go. The double team, and they're going to call a foul on Pack, I believe.
Pack was a little bit too aggressive. Whenever you double team, you don't have to steal the basketball, and that's what Pack was trying to do, so they give Detlef Schrempf and the Sonics a chance to score cheaply, and it also stops the clock. But he saw that ball sitting out there, and he thought he had a chance to make a play on it.
This old Kentucky gentleman trying to be cool.
You've been so good.
84-81, Denver's lead.
Last year, the Phoenix Suns had to go to OT to put away
the Lakers in Game 5.
And that was the number 8 seed, scaring them to death. So Alfonso Ellis will come in, replace Stitt, as Dan Issel is thinking, I got to close down the middle. I got to keep my rebound advantage. Free throws, both teams ugly this afternoon.
Schrempf hits them both. It's a basket game with 1:40 to go. Payton, one of the superb defenders in the NBA, pressuring Pack. Six on the clock. Ellis with 4. Over Schrempf. Oh, what a clutch 10-footer from LaFonso Ellis. He has 14. Kemp at the other end with Mutombo.
Crowd saying, no, Sean, no, Sean. You want something better. But Mutombo is not letting them get inside.
The block by Mutombo is 5th of the game. Kemp gets it anyway. 86-84, the final minute of the season for Denver or for Seattle. Who would have ever thought you'd put those two teams in that sentence? Five seconds on the clock. Williams off balance. Rebound Gill. To Payton. Tie it up. The Seattle SuperSonics lost only 19 games in the entire season. One of the reasons, the play of Sean Kemp. Shot blocked.
And Dikembe Mutombo rejected the first one, but Kemp wanted that one and was not going to be denied. That brought him within two. And then after a shot clock miss, the Sonics are on a bust out, and it's Gary Payton tying it up, and they have the crowd on their feet thinking that they have a little momentum. They scored 4 in a row. They might be able to win in regulation.
86-86, 35 seconds to go. And a 20-second timeout called by Denver, having trouble inbounding the ball against the pressure defense. You play 82 games of the regular season to get into the playoffs. 16 make it, some with high seeds, some with low. And you play the first round of 5, and now you're down to the final seconds, and the game is tied. And who wants the shot that will take you to the next round? Utah awaits the winner today.
First priority for Dan Issel and his Denver Nuggets is to inbound the ball. They tried it underneath their own hoop, realized that might be a huge mistake for them, so they're going to take it at half court. They've got one timeout left. The Sonics have 3 and a 20. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf comes into the game, and he, of course, is in there to make some free throws should he get fouled.
Well, the best free throw shooter in the league, Abdul Rauf of Denver, now on the floor. Reggie Williams, by far the most experienced NBA player on this kiddie core Denver team that's going to be around for a long time. We're going to be talking about these Nuggets for many years. Franchise building a real powerhouse. Robert Pack has had an extraordinary day here in Seattle with 21 points. With 9.
They had him inside.
Over Gary Payton, who is guarding him tenaciously. LaFonso Ellis, a 24-year-old Notre Dame graduate, hits a 12-footer for the lead.
15.2 seconds left in this ball game, so they want to make sure that they run a quick, hard, aggressive play and then crash the board.
Perkins is the three-point shooter. He has 3 today. Schrenth. Williams knocks it away. And the whistle with 7 seconds left of timeout, Seattle.
This is not the best position to have to inbound the ball. Reggie Williams will be up and bouncing, trying to make sure that they're under pressure. Payton
short. Kendall Gill knocks it home with a half second remaining. Tied at 88. Reggie Williams inbounding the ball. Nate McMillan, the defender, in front of him. Mutombo's the illogical guy to a big lob pass, see if he can tip it in.
Well, you're in a catch and shoot situation. It's either a lob or a throw, too.
Mutombo get it off. It doesn't count. Mutombo hits it, but too late. Overtime, 5 minutes at 88 all.
Before the end of regulation.
Catch and shoot is what this situation calls for under NBA rules. He caught it, wheeled, but the ball was still in his hand.
Mutombo tips to Pack. Pack, Reggie Williams, LaFonso Ellis, Bryant Stith, and Mutombo for Denver. Payton, Schrenth, Perkins, Gill, and Kemp, Seattle.
In a game like this, at this point, you want to try to move the ball, move people as quickly as you can. Working against the clock again. It's at 5 seconds for LaFonso Ellis.
Pat for three is going to miss everything. And there's the 24-second buzzer. So again, that's about 5 times that the Seattle defense has forced the turnover on the 24.
The Nuggets' plan is to use as much time, but they forget that there's 24 seconds to shoot, and they're playing like they got a 30-second clock, and they're getting the ball in a position with about 4 seconds, and no one's aware where the clock is.
Seattle up by 11 early in the first half, and then it was an 8-point lead for Denver late in the game, and Shrimp misses the easy shot from close range. Mutombo pulls it down for Denver.
They know that Williams has 5, and that's the best place where they're going to go to try to get a score. Wrestling match between Ellis and Sam Perkins as he tried to break him down. Clock at 5. Ball goes out of bounds.
4 seconds left for the Nuggets to get off a shot. Brian Williams checking in.
Was Detlef Shrimp thinking about Mutombo? He never saw him. He just missed that one. Hit the back of the rim. And he'd love to have that one back. Tip out of the game, Williams in.
Only 1 game today, but 3 tomorrow on NBC beginning at noon. Let's hope it's got some of this excitement. Not much time for Ellis. And another 24-second, and how Kemp was able to defend without fouling there is something that Coach Issel is wondering.
Control at the offensive end is critical, and LaFonso Ellis really wasn't under control, trying to make an attempt, and Kemp was able to get his hand on top of the ball. Issel can't believe, no call.
So 2 possessions for Seattle in overtime, for Denver, both end in a 24-second violation, and Kendall Gill, who shot tied it at the closing buzzer, has the first points in overtime. 22 for Gill to lead all scores. 3.5 left in overtime. Mutombo batted out goaltending. I believe it was Kemp who had his hand higher than the rest. 90-90.
It looks like this hoop is going to go to Williams as he active on the glass, gets a tip on it, and he knocks that ball away. Sean Kemp, and they give the basket to Mutombo.
8 points for Mutombo, but his story isn't revealed in just the scoring. Kemp with Mutombo. Wide open, Payton got away from Pat. Good assist from Sean Kemp.
One of the few times they were able to move Mutombo out of the lane and have a cutter come in. Good exchange between the 2 All-Stars, Kemp and Payton. Kendall Gill has left his man, so Reggie Williams wide open
for a 3. He hits it. And Denver takes the lead 93-92. The veteran Reggie Williams with 11. 2:38 to go. Kemp and Mutombo again. And Kemp rolls it in. 94-93 Seattle. With 5 fouls on Mutombo.
They want Mutombo to try to beat them, and they're telling everybody to hold their position. The shot clock is now down at 2.
Not going to get it off. The 3rd violation in overtime. 24 seconds, not enough time for the Nuggets.
And Issel telling his players, look at the clock. Guys, we got to have the flu. This is the thing that's hurt them, and such a tremendous effort from them this afternoon, not being aware of game clock.
Gill doesn't save it. A touch of Shrimp flash out of bounds to Denver with 1:48 to go. Again, Seattle, best record in the league. Team to beat in the West. Denver, the 8th seed, the long shot, the youngest team in the NBA, trying to pull an incredible upset in Game 5 after losing the first 2 games here to start this series. 4:93 Seattle.
Reggie Williams points to the clock saying, we got to go now. It's under 10.
Into Ellis. Ellis, oh, almost a blind shot from away from the defense, and he is fouled.
This time they get a play going to the basket. Ellis is able to get this one away and one.
Payton got him over the shoulder right there. LaFonso Ellis with 18 points.
And Ellis has had 3 huge baskets down the stretch, and there's 2 in the fourth. Here in the overtime, a chance to give him a 2-point advantage.
The 3-point play for Ellis. It's 96-94, and George Karl wants to talk it over with 1 minute 26 seconds remaining.
Everyone said in the West this Denver Nugget team was the least likely chance to have a chance to advance when there were about 5 teams that could win it all. Near steal.
LaFonso Ellis, and then Schrempf blocked by Mutombo. A record-setting block, his 30th of the series. Pack and touch last by Perkins. Mutombo in a 5-game series, 30 block shots. That is a new NBA playoff record for a 5-game series.
You can gamble when you have the ultimate rejecter back there. Mutombo led the league in shot blocks this year, and that's a big save. They get a good break at the other end, and now they'll set trying to come through LaFonso Ellis. 11 on the shot clock.
Brian Williams couldn't get the pass, and it's Payton with Pack, and knocked away by Reggie Williams. Final minute. 54 seconds remain. 2-point lead, Denver.
Dan Issel was telling these guys, come to meet the ball, as the Sonics are trying to come up with one more fortunate break. Looking inside for Brian Williams.
Pack picks up the loose ball. 4 seconds on the clock. Kemp blocks it with 1 second left. And again, Denver flirting with a 24-second violation. And if Dan Issel's team wins this one, he's going to take all of these young kids into the classroom and say, together now, let's start counting. 1, 2, and when you get to 24 or at 23, I don't want a ball anywhere near you.
And Issel's team might set a record for shot clock violations. There's another one.
That's their 4th in overtime alone. And Issel saying that's not a full second, but it doesn't necessarily mean there's a full second left.
The Nuggets have a foul to give.
Kemp with Mutombo. Another block from Mutombo. 28 seconds left, so there's about 5-second difference in the shot and game clocks.
Sonics looking to make a turnover.
And the foul by Kendall Gill stops the clock with 18.7 seconds and puts Robert Pack on the line. Have I told you we're on tomorrow with 3 games starting at noon? Snapper?
Well, we hope that all 3 of those games have this kind of excitement as we've come down to the final seconds and the ultimate rejector in this game, changing what has happened for the Sonics and the way they have played. Mutombo. 31 blocks, that's an NBA record for a 5-game series. The other hero, Robert Pack, a chance to build a lead to 3 or 4.
Hakeem Olajuwon, Mark Eaton, and Manute Bol had blocked 29 in a 5-game series, and Pack, an improbable hero. 21 points today, a couple trays mixed in, plus his floor leadership. And he coolly drops them both. And Perkins shoots the 2, blocked by Brian Williams, recovered by Gill. 8 seconds, Perkins batted back out. McMillan, another 3, way short. That's it. Mutombo embraces the ball, and the unlikely upset, one of the great upsets in NBA playoff history. The 8th seed, a team that was 2 games over 500 on the season. The Denver Nuggets, youngest in the NBA, have beaten the team with the best record in the NBA, the Seattle Super.